That's I think it's the 4th of July, 4th of August actually. 4th of August. It was yesterday, I believe. My family in India told me that it's Anglo Indian Day. That's a strange way that my lips over there is falling down. Odd. I'm mumbling. Yes, I call myself an Anglo Indian, but I haven't used that term for a long time. The last time I had an Anglo Indian club connection was in 1963, when my uncle, my mum's eldest brother, who worked on railways, that's like most of the Anglo Indians worked on railways, and he organised a couple of dinners when I was 13 years old, and all the Anglo Indians in Swindon would go there, and we once had a coach to go to the river near Oxford for a picnic, and that's the last time I've been to any event with Anglo Indians. So that is, God, that's 60 years ago. But I heard about the Anglo Indians, and the Anglo Indians there was talk a long time ago of giving the Andaman Islands to the Anglo Indians. I've been there. It's 18 years ago. Nice place. Port Blair. And it's a strange thing about the Anglo Indians, because from my mum and dad's point of view, my Uncle Ginger, Uncle Patrick, and all the cousins, they didn't sort of want to be Indian for some reason. That's because in the days that I was in London, it was a very racist place to be. There were open discrimination. They'd advertise them in shops. No colours need to apply for taking lodgings or rooms or bedsits. They couldn't get jobs. They frowned on it altogether. It wasn't until the 60s, late 50s, 60s, that the West Indians came in to work on London transport, because they couldn't get any work. They couldn't get the Brits to do it. So all the West Indians came over, and then bit by bit the Indians and Pakistanis and other people came into the country. But I was the first non-English looking person in my school in Fulham in 1954, and they made me into they had a play, and I was given the role of being a gollywog. And that's how bad it was. And the next school, when I was 5, went to Tottenham. I was the only non-white person in Tottenham now, then. Right now, it'd be hard to find a white person in Tottenham. They're all Indians, Pakistanis, West Indians. And if you do see a white person anywhere, they'll be Polish or Ukrainian or Russian. So there's not many Brits left in North London. It's a different place altogether. Quite nice. But when I was in junior school, I used to go to Finsbury Park. It was the only place you could find a shop that sold mango pickle and had Indian stuff in it, because it started getting the Indians going to London first at Finsbury Park before they came into Tottenham. I'm digressing now altogether. Oh, one thing I noticed, when I went to India, I realised people were still using peroxide to whiten up their face. That I don't understand. I really don't understand that. My mum used to use that, and it was seen best to be white, just because there was so much racism in England. It was that was the way it was. But that generation, our generation up from us, the grandchildren and children never had a problem whatsoever with any of that. Well, one son had a few occasions where they called him Packy. I had 1 or 2 occasions where I had to fight at school. I had to be strong at school, otherwise you'd get bullied. So I had to be tough to deal with it all. And I was lucky I had brains that I used to get some really, really good jobs, when obviously if they found somebody who was a different colour that was better, they got the job. But I got the best jobs anyway, in spite of my colour. I had a DNA test, well, my brother did. It turns out I'm half Southern Indian and half English Scottish. I'm happy with that. I love India, but in the 50s, 60s, India wasn't doing so well. So, of course, people like to support a winner, and India's winning now. I feel bad to say that I didn't support it so much when I was young, because it wasn't doing so good. Neither was China. So that's the way of the world. Now, I think India's wonderful. I love it. But I remember my auntie, on my mum's side, she came from Bombay to London, then London to Montreal, then Montreal to New York, and then on to San Diego, and she died in San Diego. She used to say that she never told anybody that she was from India or that she's Indian. She always said she's Spanish, which I would thought the Spanish in California are looked down on. They're the ones that do the menial jobs. So it's tough, isn't it? But I like the idea of Anglo Indian Day. As I said, the last bit of function was parties and an outing at Oxford in 1963, 60 years ago. And then when I was 15, I left home and started working in London. And my auntie, sort of auntie, a friend of my mum's, I stayed with her on a kitchen floor for 1 or 2 nights before I moved in somewhere else. And she said that I should meet a nice Anglo Indian girl. The truth is, all your family in England, from your generation, Joyce and Yvonne, all our generation married English people and had English children. And what's good about that is that the next generation after that, well, apart from my sister's eldest son, he married a girl from Gujarat. But otherwise, everybody else, my brothers and sisters, my cousins, all married English people. Uncle Ginger's children, Auntie Olive's children, Uncle Patrick's children. But the next generation down, I think they've got a bit more worldly. So my son's been out all different nationalities and religions. Again, religions, whether you're Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, Catholic, what's the difference? All believe in something in the sky. All believe in afterlife. But heck, do they fight over it? They've done for centuries. Which is not very godly of them, is it really? Yeah, and so there's no need to anybody wipe out their face. It's ridiculous. I had a lodger once in my house. His dad was a medical doctor to the opposition leader in South Korea. They were sort of multi-millionaires. And he spent £50,000 to come to England for 1 year to do his postgrad. 1 year. A lot of money. Oh, by the way, they eat cats in South Korea, but then every country eats some odd things. Anyway, he said that South Korea is regarded as the white race of Asia. And why he should have that in his head, I don't know. What's that got to do with anything? I don't know. It's all mad. I've had lots of West Indian friends. You know, I've had all different friends, all different colours. I like Chinese. A lot of people, like South Americans, don't know about Chinese. The Spanish don't know about Chinese. There's not many around. Well, there are now, but not in the past. So Spain, it's hard to find it in a restaurant. And if you go to a restaurant, and also a Chinese one, you rarely get the true McCoy stuff because they don't like anything spicy, believe it or not. Anyway, I'm off. Happy Anglo Indian Day.